good, everybody? It's Hamza. Today, guys, I'm coming to you with a brand new video. This time, guys, it's going to be a tier list for kind of the Worlds format and the Worlds event. Worlds is like literally tomorrow, so I just decided to kind of make a quick video on it just to showcase like my own input and what I think. Now, again, guys, in front of me here, this is a graphic I found on Lampy YGO's channel, and he was shouting out iCentrix YGO, so shout out to him for making this awesome little cheat sheet that we have. And then also I have the ban list here. I'll try and link both of these in the comment section down below or in the description down below so you guys can see it for yourself. Of course, the TCG exclusives are not going to be there, but again, guys, before we start the video, like, comment, subscribe, check out all my socials down below, guys, and without further ado, let's start it off. So right here, guys, I have the tier list. The tier list is going to be world champ potential, can win, sleeper, and no is personally, it's probably only gonna be like two things, and the reason why I say no is like it has potential, but I'm probably not going to see a lot of people play it. But starting off kind of with the first hit, it's going to be Snake Eyes. So again, note that this is the worlds list that was already solidified pre-TCG ban list, meaning that all of these hits are going to be the hits. So even though we don't have Beatrice in the TCG, OCG absolutely has that card, so again, they can play it. But again, for Snake Eye, they have Necroquip Princess banned. So again, like I said, for all the kind of TCG exclusives, they have one Snake Eye Ash, the one Wanted, and the double Bonfire. But apart from that, everything else is absolutely legal, meaning that people are probably going to be looking at OCG lists when it comes to kind of these things. So they're going to be on like triple Poplar, they're probably going to be on double OSS, maybe even 2 tracks, things of that nature, because I'm sure that the format has definitely evolved per se. So in that case, I would definitely put Snake Eye in world champ potential, because even though they did lose, they have 2 Wanted and they only have they lost 2 Wanted and they lost 1 Bonfire. They can make up for that by playing triple Diabell Star. They can make up for that by maxing out on Fiendsmith cards. They can play triple Poplar. They can play double OSS. They can also just play, again, like I said before, like multiple track, things of that nature, guys, so you guys can kind of see where I'm coming from when I want to put Snake Eye as the kind of best, or one of the best decks. Moving on, guys, we will be talking about Yubel. So now again, Yubel is only missing 2 crucial cards, going to be Aerial Eater and Necroquip. Now again, Aerial Eater is kind of a bigger hit to Yubel, but even before the ban list, people weren't necessarily on Aerial Eater. They're on Necroquip for the 1-card combos, but again, the end boards are just so potent. I'm gonna have to go ahead and put Yubel into the world champ potential as well. I would say maybe it's probably the best deck, because apart from the TCG exclusives, it has no real hits, meaning that like their end boards are still going to be like the whole Desiree with the Varudris and the Trap card, and it's gonna be really nasty to see this deck in action. So again, in my opinion, I think Yubel is probably going to be the best deck. Now, looking at Tenpai Dragon, they did end up losing the 1 field spell, and Shifter is the 2. I need to double check to see if Prosperity is hit there. No, so it doesn't look like Prosperity is hit there, which is interesting. Let me just double check on this list as well. Let's go Pot of Prosperity. So Pot of Prosperity, it looks like, what the hell am I looking at right now? What is this? Oh no, it's limited. Okay, so Pot of Prosperity is limited. I was like, what is wrong with me? So Pot of Prosperity is also limited there, which is kind of interesting. Which is like, we're gonna have to wait and see kind of what happens. But Tenpai, again, they only lost 1 field spell and 1 of the other thing. I think there's gonna be a lot of Tenpai, especially because it's just like a really easy deck that you can play when you break boards. Like, it's not a lot of difficulties like navigating through boards, just the way that the deck functions. So I think that Tenpai is going to be one of the better decks to for sure play in the metagame. Moving on, we have Branded. So again, Branded has Branded Opening and the Branded Fusion at 1. In my opinion, I think this is probably going to be a no. I know that Gimmick Puppet, I'm not too sure if Game Puppet is actually legal. Let me just double check that as well. No, so it doesn't look like Game Puppet is banned on the list. I think I was thinking Master Duel. So I think if that's the case, like I can see people playing it, personally speaking, but I'm just not too sure kind of if it'll actually just do something, especially because like it's very limited, like 1 Branded Opening, 1 of this. Like I don't think people are gonna be playing it. Yeah, I'm more than certain people will not be playing it. Like I don't think it's a valuable deck. Now we are also looking at Labyrinth. Now I don't have Labyrinth on this list. I just don't think, I think Labyrinth, like if I was to get it, it would definitely be like on the no, whatever you call it as well, on the no files, just because like, yeah, I know that they only have 2 of it, 2 Big Welcome or whatever this card is, but I just don't think it's like as good as like these top 3 decks, right? So for that, we'll just move on. Memento, I think Memento is pretty solid, honestly. They don't have the TCG exclusives, but they can definitely play the the Fiendsmith cards, things of that nature. I think it might be a sleeper deck. I don't know if it's a can win where like it's a second option. I think I would definitely put it in the sleeper potential, where it's like definitely don't sleep on this deck at all. Like it has potentials of kind of taking the metagame by storm. Moving on, we are looking at White Forest Runic. So losing Zapper Shrimp, it's not really too big of a hit in my opinion because they can play Formula Synchron. The only issue is like Formula Synchron does miss timing when it's summoned, but it can still do the quick effect to Synchro, which is perfectly fine. It means emergency provisions being a White Forest runic hit's like so crazy. One Fountain, one Skill Drain are the only real hits in my opinion. I still think that it's a deck that absolutely can win. So this is going to be, I would say, yeah, this is going to be White Forest runic for sure. I wouldn't really say that it's going to be Runic Stun. The reason for that is like I have the skill drain to showcase Runic Stun. And speaking of Runic Stun, I think it's probably gonna be like a sleeper hit. Obviously for like whatever reasons, like people might go to it just because like it's good, but I think that putting Runic like a White Forest runic variant or things of that nature, I think it's gonna be solid as is, honestly. Like I don't think it's gonna be too good. I think it has potential of winning, but I just can't really see it in my opinion. Then we also have Unchained. So Unchained, again, they don't have it, so I'm not gonna talk about Unchained. One of the decks I want to talk about was Gaming Puppet because they only have strings to 1, which is kind of funny because they can still FTK with only 1 strings. It's Dark Strings that was kind of the bigger hit where like they lost 1 of everything, so now everything was only at 1. I do think that this is a sleeper deck. I think that someone might actually bring it out, find some sort of weird concoction of kind of being able to FTK our opponent, so that's one thing to absolutely look out for. And then moving on, Flu, again, like I don't want to talk about Flu, like I just don't want to see Flu at World. I think Rescue Ace has potential again to be really good because they only have 1 Wanted and 1 of this and 1 of that. I think Rescue Ace has potential of being good, but again, in my opinion, I'm just not going to put it there. I think Plants is one of those decks that like we have talked about it, right? Because it just won. I think it just won the last Worlds, right, with Jessica Robinson. I think it's a deck that is like a sleeper can win sort of thing. Like I don't think people are gonna play it other than the EU players, but I think it can win, right? So I'll put it at the top of sleeper in that regard. I feel like people are ready for it, but they're just like kind of like on the fence right now. And then also Pearly, I think Pearly, so they only have 1 Sleepy and they have double of the whatchamacallit, like My Pretty Memory or whatever. I think Pearly just like a no. Like I think some people might think about playing it, but I think it's a no. Voiceless, I'm pretty sure Voiceless like is unhit completely. Yeah, so Voiceless is unhit. I think Voiceless I think it can win. I just don't think it'll have representation. That's the only issue, right? I think it can win. Won't have representation. I think Ritual Beast can absolutely win. Honestly, I think it's a pretty crazy deck. And the Chimera Illusion deck is also a sleeper deck. I played a bunch of matchups against this deck. I feel like it's a very, very crazy sleeper deck in that regard. So I think that definitely it's probably one of the better decks that can win, if not of the top 3. Alright, so now this is kind of the finalized list that I got. I ended up grabbing the other cards that I was kind of missing just because I wanted it to be more of like an inclusive list. So again, I think the top 3 best decks to play at Worlds are going to be Yubel, Snake Eye, and Tenpai, followed by we will have the Chimera Illusion Fiendsmith deck because like they have the Sinister Necrom into a Dusted Gold into Fiendsmith combo, so they end on like the Caesar play as well as like all sorts of other nasty plays, like, you know, and they can also end on King Tiger Wanghu, who like when they reborn it they summon Wanghu, and then Wanghu prevents Snake Eye and Yubel from literally playing the game because all monsters with 1400 or less attack are destroyed, so it's kind of crazy in that regard. And then this is going to be Runic White Forest or just pure Runic or whatever. I don't think there's gonna be any Runic variant I see that has like potential. I mean, there is like Runic Earthbound technically speaking, but like I don't think it has enough juice behind it to play. So this is gonna be Runic White Forest. I think it has potential, especially with like the toy box cards as well. It's gonna be really good. I think Voiceless, I'm probably gonna move it to sleeper in hindsight because I feel like the representation won't be there, but I think there might be one guy who plays it, and if he plays it really well, he has a chance of absolutely winning. Ritual Beast, again, Ritual Beast should probably be up here. It has no hits, and like it's just a nasty deck overall, honestly, man. Like it's too good. So Ritual Beast is there, and then like I said, for Rescue Ace as well, if people can manage their resources, it's going to be a little spooky of a deck. Then sleepers, we have Voices Voice, we have the Plant deck, we have Memento as well, we have Runic Stun, we have the FTK, and we have Labyrinth. I'm probably put the FTK in no, honestly. I don't think people will play this deck now that I think about it. I think Runic Stun might be there, but like if you're playing Runic Stun at Worlds, it's kind of like, yeah, if you play Runic Stun at Worlds, it's kind of like you're playing Paleo at Worlds. Like that one guy who played Paleo, I think it was Walter Jewell or something. Like why would you choose to play this one? The power level of the decks this format is just so crazy. It's kind of similar to Labyrinth, where like I think Ryan Yu is like he's big on Labyrinth, but I just don't think I can't really see it. And then again, Branded no, and Purely no. I don't think these decks will play. Speaking of which, of course, King Puppet as well. But that's it for my list, guys. If you guys like the list, let me know by commenting down below, guys. If you guys are going to your Worlds, good luck, guys. Make sure you guys use this as reference. Like I said before, I will be putting these down below as well, so you guys can kind of get a better understanding of the format. But my name is Hamza, and like I always say, guys, keep on shining, never on dreams. Peace.